Wah, 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 wah. Yow. That light, is it bright enough or not? We shall see. There we go. That's kind of where it needs to be. All right. Let me just greet my crusty little animals. Hey, Stingray, what is up, brother? There we go. All right. Ah, man, it got cold here again in the Midwest. I mean, like crazy, crazy cold. And so I've got the hat on again. I've done this hat, I've done the show with so much with the hat that I don't know that I'm ever going to take it off again. I might take it off for some of my other channels, but as far as the Vols are concerned, I think this is the look. Hey, welcome everybody. If you're just popping in, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming in. Wanted to jump on tonight. Wasn't able to do a video today. So typically when I don't do a video, I will make posts and I'll do a live. So that's kind of the way this is happening. So I'm pretty new to the whole YouTube thing, really. And I thank you all for the success up until this point. I appreciate you. So there's still a learning curve. Hammer the like button. The two things that I'm going to try to get rid of the internet saying. I'm going to try to get rid of the smash that like button for me. God, I hate that. I've been listening to that crap for forever. Smash this, smash that. You're not really smashing anything, are you? I don't think so. And the other thing that I hate even worse than smash the like button for me. So, further ado, what is it? With no further ado, that's what it is. So, with no further ado, let's get to the show. Stop saying that. It sounds so stupid. So, without at least come up with something of your own, right? Am I being oversensitive? All right. Maybe I'll just shut up. I'm having this morning's coffee, by the way. Crazy. Let's see who's here. Eric B. Jones, my man. Eric, how you doing, buddy? Appreciate you. Thank you for coming in. Stingray, you need to get back down south. Love the hat. I need to make that trip back to Tennessee. Is that what you're saying? Michael Wolf, howdy, Rocket. Vols rule the sec. Yeah, they do. Vols rule all the SEC. I'm so stupid. Sometimes I'm just my stupidity. It's just if I don't see, here's the thing with that, my brother Michael Wolf. If I don't see that in caps, I don't see it as SEC. I see it as hang on a sec kind of thing. So my bad, my apology. Johnny Thomason, love the hunting. We will go hat. I love this hat, man. I really do. It's my brother's hat. I kind of stole it from him to do the show. Thank you, Eric. That's not you say. Eric, I was just catching up on that loss there at the last minute. I didn't see the game, but I did see that they lost, and that dismayed me a little bit, right? They should be winning, particularly against Kentucky. I'm not making a phone call. What I'm doing is I see Chewy back there. Chewy's Chewy. Here I'm a lighter, right? UCLA Films guy, right? And I see stuff that's not lit. It drives me crazy. So Chewy is not lit. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna take my phone here. I learned this I learned this when I was in film school in Hollywood. Um, you make do with what you got. Now what I have a flashlight. Whoop, see, and I am gonna just do this little trick right here and see how I lit. Hang on. See there? So now Chewy has a little light on him. I don't know. It's just what I do. I light things. Not very well half the time, but I like them. Hey, welcome. It is I, Rocket Man. This is World According to Rocket. Um, Danny Pritchard, what's up, buddy? I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for coming tonight. I've only got about 30 minutes here tonight, but I thought I'd say hello to my folks. I made the announcement a little earlier. When I don't do a video, what I will do is make a post relevant to the day's activities and or do a live so that I can keep in touch with the fan base here. So that's kind of what we're doing tonight. They had their junior days up on Rocky Top, I guess, where I can't believe they start working these kids when they're what, 15, 16 years old in junior. Man. Um yeah, so they got some pretty talented guys. This Trey is not Trey Wingo. What's his name? That Wingo kid is supposedly very, very interested in Tennessee because he was there for the Alabama game and it just rocked his world. Well, I can't find his name right now, but where is that fella? Here we go. I know it's not Trey Wingo. It's what you guys already probably know what his name is. Ryan Wingo. There we go. He's a wide receiver. And I just can't believe that they get started on these young kids when they're juniors. Well, I'm sure they get started really technically on them much earlier than that. But it's recruiting season, and it will be for a while. Now, while I have you here for a few minutes and I have your undivided attention, I want to get your thoughts. Hey, Nugs. Hey, Rob Davis. Thank y'all for coming in. I want to get your thoughts on Taven Jackson going into the portal. Now, this is absolutely nothing that we did not expect, right? I don't think anybody that didn't expect this, raise your hand so we can make fun of you. No, I'd never make fun of you. Yeah, I would probably. Anyway, I really feel sorry for this guy. I do. I'm sad that he's leaving. I completely understand and totally support it, and I wish him nothing but the best. Uh, it would make sense to me if he goes and becomes Alex Golish's quarterback down in South Florida. Why? Because he's really good. And number two, he already knows the offense. Right? Because Golish is going to put the same offense in down there as at Tennessee. You know that's going to happen if he has the personnel, if he has the wide receivers to do it and a quarterback to do it, and he's already got it. So that's my prediction, is that he's going to end up down there in South Florida. Now, is that a big enough stage for him? Right? Now, I'm not saying he's as good as Nico, but I'm saying his reputation last year was pretty big. And the upside for him was pretty huge. And he was Josh Heupel's first personal pick to come play for this football team. So as far as a recruit goes. So y'all got any info on that? What do you think? Nug says it was expected. It just shows how big a deal Joe staying really was. Absolutely. Yeah, it was. And it shows how even a bigger deal that Joe actually not only stayed, but he showed up and played lights out, right? Um, Now the question is, what happens if Joe goes down? Or what happens if Nico goes down? We're we're being backed up in that third slot by a scout team quarterback from Central Florida, Gaston Moore. So y'all tell me. Y'all tell me. Nugs says, I keep seeing Taven to Indiana. Okay. Well, that's where he's from. He was Mr. Indiana, everything, all through high school. Maybe that's where he belongs. I don't know that Mr. Indiana is any bigger of a stage than South Florida. I know it's in the Big Ten, but you know, I don't know. It's still Indiana. And if they don't use his skills, see, I think he really benefited from being at Tennessee for the year. Now, because he got all that great coaching from the quarterback whisperers, and I don't know whether that whisperer is Josh Heupel or whether it's Coach Halsley. I suspect it's both, the combination of the two. I suspect they're all on the same page. Alex Golish was on that page as well. So I think, he's going to try to come in with an offense similar to Tennessee's. So I don't know. What do you guys think? While you're thinking and you're typing, hammer that like button. Don't smash it. Don't smash it. Hammer it. And if you're new here and you haven't subscribed, come on, man. What you waiting for? I'm going to run over here and I am going to grab some comments from the Peanut Gallery over here. We got them. This is from my post today. Impactful stuff happening on Rock Tops. Snagged some good players in the portal. And also lost a really good one. And this MG Way says, is Taven Jackson the really good one? And I don't know how to take that comment, whether it was sarcasm or whether he's looking for information or what. And my response was, yes, he is a really good quarterback. Heupel thought so. He was his first recruit pick. Unfortunately for Taven, Nico will likely be a superstar. We shall see. Reaper left a very cryptic message on yesterday's video that said chicken nuggets. I don't know what that means. And so I just said, are we placing orders now? Taking orders? What? And he got back to me. He said, nope, I ate them. I'm not sorry. Thank you, Reaper. Stingray, see you live tonight, Rockett. Yes, sir. I appreciate you, Stingray, for always hanging out and being around. Thank you. Reminder from yesterday's show on Nico playing in the Polynesian Bowl and Tom Zinner, the guest. That video, we had two videos yesterday. Saban even voted Bama number 2 in his final coaches poll ballot. Give me a break. Only reason I would have Bama above Tennessee is because Hooker gone the last 2 games. That has nothing to do with, I don't think, that has nothing to do with where you play somebody because one of their quarterbacks is hurt. It didn't affect them on the field. We didn't realize on the field that Hendon Hooker was gone. We beat Vanderbilt 56-0 or whatever the score was, and we crushed Clemson. I mean, we spanked them good. So as far as I'm concerned, there's no reason. There is not one single reason other than sentiment and a bias toward Alabama that Alabama was ranked ahead of us at the end of the poll, at the end of the season. Remander goes on to say, and I think Remander's a smart guy. about this stuff. He said Georgia number 1, OSU lost to Michigan, but almost beat Georgia. That's exactly my thinking. Number 3, Michigan beat OSU, but lost to a TCU team that got exposed in the championship. And Alabama number 4, Tennessee 5. Oh, I didn't see Remander put Alabama 4. Well, I thought we were friends, Remander. What the hell? There's no way I'd put Alabama ever higher than Tennessee. And then 5, Tennessee, and TCU number 6. Robert Duncan from yesterday's video on Taven Jackson leaving. Hate to see him leave. I believe he's a really good quarterback and wish him all the best. Hopefully everything will work out for him. I'm right there with you. I really like that kid, and I'm sorry he's not getting a shot at it. And let's just talk for a minute. I wonder if it's possible. You never know what's in somebody's mind. But obviously, we have 3 really good quarterbacks there that could literally start at a whole lot of places around the country. Am I making that up, or is that true? Right? So why would he leave? He would leave because he wants to go play somewhere, right? Now, what motivated that decision to jump in the portal? Was it an intimidation factor of all the $8 million Nico NIL deal? Was he not able to get an NIL deal on his own? Probably. Certainly not anything comparable to Nico's deal, whatever that deal is. Or he's there watching Nico for the past, 3 weeks now? Practicing. Maybe he saw that this guy is the real deal and just said, hey, you know what? I'm just going to go somewhere else where I can play. Because I don't want to be second string, and I certainly don't want to be third string, right? That's a possibility. Nugs, I know, but that's all the news I'm seeing is predicting him to Indiana. Okay. I would like him to go to USF so I can watch him. And Golish, Tampa's much closer to me than Knoxville. Oh, really? I didn't know that. Well, wherever he goes, I'm all for him, and I wish him the best. I can't blame him at all for wanting to go do that. Let's see what else. Am I the only one who gets annoyed by? So, without further ado, everybody who has a stupid podcast, who has a stupid YouTube channel, they say that at the beginning. Listen to me. If you ever hear me say that after tonight, and I'm only going to say it tonight because I'm just telling you how I feel about that phrase. If you ever hear me saying that, I want you to unsubscribe to the channel because that means I am just phoning it in and I'm not trying to be creative enough to say something more interesting than that. So without further ado, what? Shut that up, man. You're an entertainer. You are in a privileged position. Not that everybody can't become a YouTube guy or radio guy or whatever. But really, you should put a little more something in it. Call it something different until everybody starts doing that, and then call it something else. That's kind of the way I've run my career. I don't know. Am I off the reservation on this or what? Let me know. Let me jump over here back to the comments from the channel. Scott Bennett says from yesterday's transfer portal podcast video. I'm not sure it's really surprising that he went to the portal. I think he knew that after the Joe show showed up in a big way, he was almost assuredly guaranteed to be at least number 3. He is a player that needs to play. Good for him. Wish him luck. Go big freaking orange. Yes, sir. Well, I think we all kind of feel that way. Average Rando, who was the winner of our a bulldog and a horned frog walk into a bar contest. I wonder what she's going to do with the money. I wonder what she's going to buy. I wonder if she's going to buy like some really fancy knickers or something. Anyway, she says, I'm between surprised and not surprised. I would probably do the same thing given the hype around Nico. That had to be so hard for him to listen to all that because he's been sitting, he's been waiting. Then he got hurt against UT Martin for crying out loud. And he had to sit around and rehab that. And then all he's hearing about is he's not been able to play because of the injury and he can't show out what he's got, right? And then he's hearing all the hype about Nico. Then Nico comes in, is getting reps. Oh, that's got to be so hard for him, I would think. For a 19-year-old kid? Yeah, tough. Rando goes on to say, I'm sorry he's leaving, but I wish him the best of luck. Johnny on the spot. Nash, I truly believe it's got something to do with the NIL deals that are suddenly popping up and some deeply hidden truths about big NIL bucks just aren't automatically popping up and popping into the 5-star recruits who sign major NIL deals. NIL money just ain't automatically appearing in their accounts anymore like they were for a while. But now all of a sudden, they're not issuing more like they used to be there for quite some time. So Johnny on the spot thinks it maybe has something to do with NIL money. Well, he's certainly not going to get any NIL money at Tennessee that a quarterback of his stature should get and that could get somewhere else. But where is that somewhere else? Do they have NIL money? You know, Tennessee is pretty special in that they're kind of leading the way in terms of they have a huge company. It started out as the Spire Group or something like that, and it's turned into something else, which I can't remember what it is, what the name of that company is. Timmy Williams, this guy knows nothing about Tennessee. Really, talking about my friend Zenner that was on yesterday. Yes, he did not know that they had only lost 2 games. Purple Einstein, how do you literally get the snot curb stomped out of you in the national championship game and still finish 2? I'm with you, Perp. And no way should Alabama finish ahead of Tennessee. There again, I'm with you. Gary Henley says Tennessee should be ahead of Alabama. That's just wrong. Should be Georgia, Ohio State, TCU, Michigan, and Tennessee. I can go with that. I think Michigan and TCU are interchangeable there, but I can go with that. Perp is also, I too hate to see him go. Gaston has been with Heupel for a while now as he was a scout team quarterback at UCF. Wonder how comfortable Heupel is with him at quarterback 3, right? And Eric Jones down here says, what's up, Rocket? Great show and a great guest. Yeah, Zenner, yesterday's guest, he and I have been around forever together, right? He was my sports guy on my morning radio show for a couple of years. Back in Omaha, he went on to big things. He's been a very serious news anchor in every serious market, with the exception of New York, Chicago, Boston, Phoenix, Los Angeles. Guy's got a resume, you know. huge friends with Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, Dennis Rodman, that whole group of people. Now he's got his own podcast called One Degree of Scandalous with Cato Caitlin. If you haven't checked it out, kind of outrageous times. Let me get back to you guys. Let's see. Dirty Higgins. What's good, Rocket Man? Yes, sir. Dirty. You all good. Thank you for being here. Simply Tommy and Rocket and everyone. Yes, sir. Yo, Tommy, thank you. Dirty Higgins just had a minute to stop by and say, go big orange. Dirty, thank you. I appreciate you. Simply Tommy. I don't know how Indiana's NIL is, but I hear that's where he's looking because that's home. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Well, there you go. Nugs, the volunteer club, Spire Sports. Thank you. I knew it had the Vols name in it somehow. Nugs, Taven's brother plays basketball at Indiana also. Ah, okay. Okay. Simply Tommy, TCU lost twice and moved up in the ratings both times. Well, look, we all know. Let me see what we got going on here. We all know that the ratings are shite, right? And it's political and it's, who knows? Whoever's got the microphone, Zinner said something yesterday about that. Whoever's got the microphone and the camera on them at the time is going to get the most attention, just like Saban did when, what was it, the national championship game? He's sitting there lobbying people. Well, our team should really be number 2 or whatever, right? Please. It's stupid. It is stupid. If you're just joining us, hammer that like button. Don't you dare smash it. And don't you dare say without further ado. I don't know how to tell you this, but it's not a cool phrase. I mean, it really isn't. Does that annoy anybody as much as it does me? No. God, it just drives. It's like fingernails on a board. Simply Tom, Nick Saban ranked Bama 2 and Vols 7, and Butch Jones had us ranked 6 or 7. Look, Butch Jones is just, bless his heart. But he is kind of a punchline, right? Knock, knock. Who's there? Butch. Butch who? Butch Jones. Right? I mean, he's just a punchline, Jones. I mean, I'm sure his mom and daddy love him. I'm sure good Lord loves him and all, but he's just a dope. Even the Rutgers coach ranked us at 7. Yeah, well, there was a Brad Crawford, maybe, did some at 24/7 Sports, ran an article by Bruce Crawford or Brad Crawford, and this guy thinks Tennessee next year is number 12, starting the season. I mean, how stupid is that? Well, and you asked the guy why. He went on to explain why. Well, you lost Hendon Hooker and Jalen Hyatt. Did you happen to watch the Vanderbilt game or the Clemson game at all? Did you see that? With all respect, Mr. Hooker is done. With all respect, Jalen Hyatt is done. Right? They'll be Vols for life, and they will forever owe their careers to the Tennessee Vols. Right? But they're now, that's over. That's over. We have a football team that still scores 45 points a game. Right? Now, and I told people this. Going into the Clemson game when everybody, they can't do anything because Hendon Hooker's not there and because squirrel what. Let me just say this. Now, please understand when I say this, this is no slight against Jalen Hyatt. Okay? He's awesome, and I wish him the absolute best in the NFL. But I think the offense made Jalen Hyatt more than Jalen Hyatt made the offense. Anybody disagree with that? Anybody agree with that? Right? It's the offense, stupid. I did a show about that. The offense is the thing. It is a plug and play offense. And that's what these soy boy sports writers don't seem to get. Oh, well, they had these two amazing people, and that's the only reason they were any good. Wrong. Real wrong. You watch what happens now that these people are going to have 7 or 8 months now to get ready for the new season. They're going to be better because they're going to have some people that can tackle people. And it's called tackle football. Now, am I just being a goofball? Hey, hammer that like button. With further ado, let me get back to the comments. Without further, see, I don't even know how to say it right. Anyway, I'm just being silly. Michael Wolf, let them talk. Did we not do beating Alabama? TCU was overrated. Ohio State and Michigan played no one. I really did a hard look at the thing about strength of schedule. TCU is the one that played body. They played Kansas State at the beginning of the year and lost to them. And Texas was supposed to be a good football team. They weren't. They had a good game against Alabama, but almost anybody at that level, any of the top 10, 15 schools can get up for a game because it's an emotional game. I'm sorry. Tennessee, TCU came from behind, I think in 7 out of 10 games, they had to come from behind. They damn near lost 7 games. That's something you can't say about Tennessee. Anyway, it just made, I know what I was going to say about strength of schedule. And I looked at TCU. They had a much lower strength of schedule. And then after they played Michigan and Ohio State, their strength of schedule zoomed up to the 8th toughest schedule in the country. But that was already after they got into the semifinals, the playoffs, the college football playoff. It was Michigan and Ohio State that upped their strength of schedule. One of them they beat. One of them they just embarrassed themselves on a football field. I don't know how they show their faces to the fans. We got embarrassed, but we scored almost 40 points doing that. And that was something entirely different. And I'm pretty embarrassed about that, only because they won't tell me what happened. It just occurred to me that my beard is the same color as the fur on my hat. I don't know what that has to do with anything. We did Simply Tommy. We added another stellar wide receiver as well, Dante Thornton. And from everything that I have seen on film of him, that guy is a stud, right? He is a stud. Holy crackers. I mean, he is huge. He's 6'5", 200 pounds. 50-50 balls. I think I heard him make the comment that there's no such thing as a 50-50 ball coming toward him because it's his ball. I like that a lot. Let's see. Tommy says the two Ohio did play. The 2 Ohio did play. I don't know what that means. Stingray, one thing that no one can argue is that the Vols had the toughest schedule amongst anyone. You're correct, except for one thing. Vanderbilt had the toughest schedule. They were at the end of the season, they had the toughest schedule. They were number 1. And Tennessee was that many. So I just think we God, we're just moving in the right direction so quickly. And I also think that they're going to announce after the 18th of January, sometime between the 18th and when spring ball opens, they're going to announce a new they're going to announce a new contract with Heupel to bring him at least in line with all the people that he's beating. Nice, wouldn't it? Oh, man. And I catch a lot of crap from people. Well, what are you talking about? He's making $5 million. That's enough for anybody. No, it ain't. No, that's not how paying talent works. You pay talent on 2 levels. You pay talent for the number of butts they put in seats, and you pay talent for, well, if that guy's making this and I beat this guy, then I should be making more than that guy. That's how it works. That's how it works in show business, which is something I know about, and it's very similar in sports. I mean, the biggest joke in the world is the whole thing going on down there at Texas A&M. I mean, they paid that guy $100 million, and they're terrible, and everybody's transferring, don't want to play down there anymore. $100 million. I think it was $9.5 million for 2 years with some added bonuses. Michael Wolf says 10 mil plus. I think it should be 9 to 10 mil for sure. Make sure he's there. Make sure he's there for the next 10 years. Rebecca and Co. Yes, ma'am, I 100% agree with you. The top 3 paid players, coaches, Saban's earned every dollar he gets, whether you like him or not. Then Kirby Smart is second. We beat Saban, lost to Kirby. Kirby's got to get out of Neyland next year, and I'm very anxious to see that game. That is going to be a very tough game for the Georgia Bulldogs to negotiate next year. Now, I would like it better if it were earlier in the season, but it's later in the season. And typically later in the season, that's when you got, people banged up, little injuries and nicks and nagging muscle issues that haven't cleared up and tend to get worse as the season goes along. But he's going to have his hands full. He's going to have his hands full. Now, what do you think about this new Dante Thornton coming in? Whose place is he going to take? I read an article just yesterday, saying that he's going to be taking Squirrel's place, and Ramel Keaton and Rue McCoy stay in that first 3 depth chart. I don't think so. I don't think Squirrel's going anywhere. I love that guy. And I made a bold statement prior to the Clemson game that Squirrel is Jalen Hyatt's equal. I do. He's just younger. You're younger. But he can get open just like Jalen Hyatt could. Ramel Keaton can get open just like Jalen Hyatt can. That's what I'm saying. It's the offense, stupid. And if you got the people to run those routes in a tricky kind of way, and you see those hips turn and then they're gone. That's how it all happens. Let's see. Henry Tate. Hi, Henry. Thank you for coming. He likely ends up being that fourth, a.k.a. six men, first wide receiver off the bench. Now, who are you talking about, Henry? Are you talking about Dante Thornton, the new guy from Oregon? Is that who you're talking about? And, okay. Thank you, Henry. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm fine with that. And he must know that because he's coming, right? Stephen Claywell says, we are getting depth now. Man, you are spot on, my brother. Yes, sir. That's exactly what's happening. Henry Tate, his direct comp is Keaton. Like simply said, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was my thinking all along. I don't think they're gonna sit Squirrel down. He's just too explosive. Plus, you're right, Fort Rep, Cam Seldon in Knoxville, coming to Knoxville, and I can't wait. Oh, by the way, I just wanted to a point of procedure, Your Honor. Yes, go ahead, sir. Yesterday, when I posted the video, I posted the video with a thumbnail of Nico on it, and the first headline was Nico's playing in the Polynesian Bowl, and then the second headline, the sub-headline was my guest yesterday, Tom Zinner, my buddy Tom Zinner. And so somebody got on, gave me a scolding about, posted in the comments that, well, you didn't talk about Nico until 14:37 in the video. You're right. And I apologize for that because I just wanted to explain if anybody else was butthurt about that, I would explain what happened. Typically, I was going to move that section about Nico playing in the Polynesian Bowl up to the very front of the video. All right. And then what happened when I just was about to do that, I got distracted by the Taven Jackson news. And I went, oh, damn, are you kidding me? And so I said, I've got to get this up and do another video real quick about Taven. And I forgot, I just airmailed it like one of Joe Milton's old passes. Just completely, it's gone. So if anybody were upset about that, I understand. Typically, that's not going to happen. Typically, what is on that thumbnail is what the major topic of the show is going to be. But I did make a mess of that one, and I apologize. I apologize to him, and I apologize to y'all. Henry Tate, in his interview with AP, he stressed being on the outside. Yeah, you're right. He did. And look, I don't put a lot of faith in these sports writers because they have to churn out more content. I mean, they're writing out, right now 5, 6, 7, 8 articles a day, and they're just taking something and running with it. And when you're doing that much stuff, you can't do a whole lot of research. You just have to go on what you know. And sometimes what you know ain't all there is to know, right? So I just thought it was just kind of dumb on his part to think that Thornton would be competing with Squirrel. He ain't going to be competing with Squirrel. I mean, there will be times when he will be in the slot for sure, but I think it's interesting that we have this conversation that we're worried about pissing somebody off because they're not playing enough because they're too good and they should be in there, but they can't get in, right? Just like the quarterback situation, just like David Jackson leaving. We're getting there, guys. We are getting there, which we'll put a bow on this and end it, which is why they should pay what Mr. Wolf says they should pay $10 million to Coach Heupel. They should be giving him the $100 million deal, not Jimbo Fisher, not Drinkwitz at Missouri. Drinkwitz at Missouri is making $2.5 million more than Josh Heupel is after getting 65 points laid on him. Right? Where's the equity? There, you see. Man, as you can tell, I get excited talking about Tennessee football. Yes, I do. I get excited about it. All right. It's Saturday night, and I'm going to go see if me and my hat can get in some kind of trouble. All right. So I will say adios for the night. And again, the new rule, and let me just explain this to you while I have a chunk of people here, and I appreciate you all. If you haven't hammered that like button, hammer that like button now. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I'd appreciate it. So here's the kind of deal. If there's a video that needs to be done, I'll do it. If there's not, and I'm talking about the off season here, right? If there's a video, I'll do it if it needs to be done. If not, I'm going to cover the smaller things with posts, community posts, and with lives. So you will hear from me every day in some way, right? I'll be here. I ain't going anywhere. I have several other channels that I am developing. So it's a lot, not that I'm not working. I'm working my brains out here trying to, get this thing moving in a significant way so that it'll support me. So, because I love it and I understand it, and it's a lot of fun all at the same time. So that's a pretty good combination, being successful. So that's what's going on with me. But you can always reach out through the comments and holler at me, and I'll get back to you one way or the other. I read every comment that comes into this channel. I let you know by giving them a heart or giving them a heart and a comment. So that's how we're running the store at the moment. Robert Phillips, best place to get Tennessee Vols news, makes it very easy to keep up with new players and excellent at breaking games down, GBO. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. That's very nice. Simply Tommy, don't get in too much trouble. You'll be broadcasting from a place you can't get kicked out of. Jail. Yeah, we don't want jail. That's never a good idea. Ever. Hey, man, I love you guys. Thank you all very much. I appreciate you, and I will see you tomorrow. Go Big Orange.